I just arrived in Las Vegas. I'm here for the International Builder Show. However, it doesn't start till tomorrow. So I made an appointment with the co-founder of Boxabl because I posted a video last week or maybe 2 weeks ago and noticed people had a lot of questions. So I'm hoping he's got answers. They got some new products rolling out. People want to know when houses are going to be delivered. And I thought this was the perfect chance to sit down and kind of see what's going on. It's been a couple years since I talked to him, so let's go see what they're doing. All right, I'm back at Boxabl here with Galiano. It's been a couple years. We're standing in front of what they're calling Phase 2, and things have changed. This is looking a little bit different than the casita last time I was here, so what are we looking at?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, the grand plan for Boxabl has always been, residential buildings, apartments, single-family houses, not necessarily tiny house or casita. That was just kind of our foot in the door to prove the concept and learn the ropes. So now this is our first few units that we're building of bigger houses. So,
okay.
Larger single-family houses.
Yep.
So really taking everything we've learned over the past few years and throwing it into this. That includes different building materials, different manufacturing methods, different approaches to regulations, and the plan initially for this is to target larger developers who want to do communities.
Okay.
So that right now we have a form on our website where bigger companies can come in and say, hey, we'd like to do a project. So hopefully we'll snag one of those, and this is Builder Show week, so we're getting a lot of tours coming through to check it out.
Cool. What was with the switch to the steel frame?
Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of different stuff that kind of went into the thought process for that switch. One of the big ones was the regulations. So no secret, Boxabl and every other builder in the country struggles with massive overregulation of building construction, and we decided to kind of take a step away from the laminated panels that we're using for our current casitas and go towards like almost a more traditional light gauge steel frame design. For example, with the laminated panels, when we build that, we have to do a panel listing. So it's a whole bunch of extra testing that takes months and months to get it approved. And then when we submit that to a building department or a state, modular regulatory agency, they look at it and they're like, what the hell is this?
Right,
and then it drags out the process and they ask all these questions.
Okay.
So that's something that's been holding us back that we're trying to avoid. And then another cool thing is this allows for more flexibility, more customization, because with the laminated panel listing, for example, like if we have a panel with foam in the middle and we want to use even the same exact foam but from a different supplier, we have to then go and get it relisted and retested all over again.
Okay.
So it's totally crazy, and it drags things down.
Yeah.
Another benefit of doing it this way was better, stronger structural ratings, better fire resistance, and actually a lower cost to produce the houses. So we think we're going to see a significantly lower cost to produce them using this light gauge steel. So a bunch of challenges, and it's always give and take. Like you change something, and some things are better, some things are worse, and you kind of have to fit it in and make the decision to go for it. But we're really excited about being able to build this way, and we think it's the right choice.
Cool. So when I first saw this, my initial thought was, okay, maybe they're going to more of a panelized build where they're sending out walls and putting them together, but you're saying this folds just like the casita.
Yep. Same concept here, folds up for shipping. We could do panelized, maybe we'll do some panels for like garages on a slab or something like that.
Okay.
But this is the same thing. This 40 by 20 unit here, I mean, it just folds up the way the casita does. This is two 20 by 30 units, so each of those units will fold up and fit on its own truckload.
Wild. So we were talking about some of the roadblocks that you've kind of come up against, and you mentioned you're now approved in several states and basically ready to start submitting permits and delivering homes there. What states are you good to go in now?
Yeah, so definitely by far the biggest challenge we've had is with the regulation and the government, and of course that exists all over different types of building construction and pretty much everything, every other type of business. in the country is kind of damaged by overregulation. But we, managed to get approval in California, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Oklahoma, like about 14
Nice.
states.
Okay.
So right now, if you're in one of those states, you can go to the website, click order, find a dealer. The dealer will come out to your site, figure out if there's any, custom specifications or what the deal is, quote you on, the install cost and get things moving. But as far as like the regulatory roadblocks we've seen, it's definitely far more than I could have imagined, and it's held the company back quite a lot. It's unfortunate. So it's something we have to kind of fight through and find our niche. And one of the things I'm excited about that phase 2 is like for a casita, that one customer wants to buy one casita. If we sell 500 of them, that's 500 permit applications, 500 ordeals of getting things approved versus, this product, if we're targeting developers that want to do one big community, we could get, 1,000 units in one big community, and that's only one permit application and only one regulatory headache to go through.
Right. So another thing that's changed since the last time I was out here is you've brought on dealers. What was the idea behind that?
That was always kind of the plan, that we would be just kind of the manufacturer of the room modules and sell that to, developers and customers and use a dealer network. There is a tremendous amount of kind of custom boots on the ground work that needs to get done from when this house leaves our door to when the customer gets the keys. And that's best done by local contractors. So we've been lucky to get a huge amount of interest. We have, I don't know what the number is, but easily over 100 dealers around the country ready to install these things. So we have people coming in every day through our website to have the dealer come to their site to do a visit and do a quotation, and then if they choose to move forward, they'll go ahead and submit it to the building departments and all that kind of stuff. But back to the regulatory issues, it's like with a product like this, by its nature, the sales cycle is very long. So everyone wants things to happen quickly, and like I wish this was like I was manufacturing like a little phone, and when someone clicks order, I could throw it in a FedEx box and ship it to them. But unfortunately, if somebody wants to buy this house, I got to say, oh, sorry, I can't take your money yet. First, let's get financing. Let's build the foundation. Let's go get the building permit and just drag it out. So, it's difficult, and I think it'll snowball over time. So like the work we put in a year ago to secure a customer will come to fruition now. But, whether it's the state programs that we have to get approved to sell in a state, or even the local building department, there are a lot of roadblocks. So like, for example, in the state of Arizona, we have a whole bunch of building permits at the building department. Some of them have been sitting there for 6 months. There's no reason for that. And it's literally like a piece of paper and a checklist, and all the building department person has to do is say, oh, do they have this? Do they have this? Check the box. It's 10 minutes of work to get it approved. So why are they sitting there for 6 months? I don't know to say that it's anything but like intentional or just the bureaucratic machine that is a cancer to the whole country and the whole world is affecting us. But there's a lot of stuff. It's a complicated issue.
When we were talking before, you mentioned that you've got customers, but you can't sell them houses. You're not the first person in this business that's told me that. You're just the one that's got the most attention, I would say. So you've got more people that can't buy houses.
I mean, there are a lot of modular factory-built housing startups that have failed, and pretty much all of them. I know a lot of the guys who ran those companies. Pretty much all of them, it's the regulations that hold you back, and it's a clusterfuck because. If I'm manufacturing this product, I should just be able to sell it to anyone in the country. It's one country. The building codes, should be the same for the whole country. But, I only have 14 states out of 50. Why? It's the same product that I'm going to be selling everywhere. It's the same product that meets the code everywhere, but I can't sell it because of basically these, redundant government departments. So like, for example, the state regulatory, modular departments that manage the factory-built housing. They don't do anything different than the building departments do.
Right.
So they make you do the work twice, and they drag it out, and it's just, there's no reason for them to exist at all. They need to go away. I'm praying that the new, Trump administration can pass some kind of federal modular housing program.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the only guys that have actually succeeded in a big way in factory-built housing is the HUD, hopefully that saw is not drowning me out, but is the HUD mobile manufactured homes.
Yeah.
And the reason that they've actually succeeded in being able to carve out a business niche is because they have this federal regulatory program. So
Correct.
for HUD houses that are on trailers, you can get one approval for the whole country and sell the damn houses.
Yeah.
So even though that program is very flawed, it's allowed Clayton and Champion and Cavco to build big businesses around it. So I think the same thing needs to be done. The country needs one building code. The country needs one approval process for factory-built housing.
Yeah.
And if that happens, it would really open things up big time for us. And I think there's a good chance that could happen based on how crazy Trump and Musk are going at just tearing things down and changing things. I think there's a good chance they might fix that, and they have talked a lot about it.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be wild.
We'll pray for that.
Yeah, exactly. So I work for the subscribers of my channel, and I recently posted a video about kind of hinting at this and saying I was coming out here or whatever, and I get the comments that say, oh, I'm losing faith in Boxabl. What has been the biggest roadblock? Is it what you just talked about?
I mean, so what we're trying to do here is, is very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, this is extremely ambitious to like a crazy degree. I mean, look at where we came from, and you've been here since kind of the beginning, checking in on us, and all the problems and drama that we faced, and how big we're trying to go with it. And this is not an easy problem to solve, and the upside, if we solve it, is just like incredibly massive. And it's something really no one has been able to figure out, and that's why housing is such an issue. That's why there's a 4 million housing unit shortage. But I didn't expect the regulations to be this crazy. I expected to be allowed to sell houses if I followed the rules, which we do, but we're still, for this reason or that reason, here and there, not allowed to sell houses. The manufacturing turned out to be the easy part. Our costs to produce these houses keeps coming down and down. All that stuff is trending in the right direction. We just have to fight through these regulatory issues, find our niche, and it's happening. Houses are going out. Dealers are doing quotes. We have permits in building departments. You can come online and order a house. So we're finding our way, and we're pivoting to react to the various issues that we face. That results in this. It results in the other product, the baby box. So
basically, you've got the interest, you've got the manufacturing, but your hands are tied to get the product out to people.
Trust me, it's extremely frustrating, and the kind of things that these regulators have done are just completely crazy. I mean, I posted some of it online. It's the most absurd, ridiculous stuff. There's so many of them just trying to, for one reason or another, this special interest, that special interest, trying to, slow down progress in this industry and every industry. But I mean, the stuff they're doing is just out of control. It's out of control. And like I said before, that's the reason that Trump is in office right now. Is because the whole country, even the people who don't necessarily know like the full extent of how bad the government fucks everyone, they're even noticing how bad the government fucks everyone. So they voted for Trump to come in basically with the promise of, I'm tearing it all down, I'm shredding the bureaucracy, I'm taking off the handcuffs, and I'm freeing the people. So, hopefully, we can see the benefits of that as it starts to, kind of trickle down from, what they're doing, which I think has, even in the first, month, is just amazing. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing, kind of delivering on promises to take a chainsaw to the bureaucracy. Which is my dream of my life.
So if the light gauge steel frame is better received, could you move that over into the Casita? Is that something you're considering?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you know, as soon as we get through the initial learning curve of doing this, we will transition Casita from laminated panels into light gauge steel.
Yep.
However, the baby will remain laminated panel because on that one, it doesn't cause us a problem with regulations because there's no regulations stopping us from building it that way.
Perfect.
And it kind of just makes sense for that type of product. But yeah, that's the future. And when it comes to what the customer's actually going to see, like, they're really not going to notice difference.
No.
It's still just going to be a house.
Yeah.
They're not going to know what's inside the walls.
Right.
But it's going to make more sense for us, for a variety of reasons, to go over to the light gauge steel.
Cool. So where do you see Boxabl going from here, I guess? You've got the baby, which is one thing. You got the Casita, and then you've got this new phase 2 product that's quite a bit bigger. Do you see going a certain direction, or is it going to be all the above?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, we kind of keep fighting through these regulations in Casita, start seeing a lot of people we started talking to a year ago who want to buy. Those projects start to come to fruition as they go through permitting, and then we're able to kind of keep ramping up Casita production, turning on new markets as we get approvals, have more people see more of them out in the wild, and then get more excited, and hopefully that increases the sales. Meanwhile, turn on that baby production ASAP and start selling a product, and then in the background trying to land a bigger order from a developer for a big community.
Cool.
And really, any one of those things we can hit on, and we'll be good to go. Like, we could get one big order for a big community of these, and we're off to the races, full speed ahead, manufacturing, all the revenue we need. So that's the game plan right now.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I'll probably see you tomorrow around the baby box at the show. So.
Yeah, we'll do another interview, or maybe you could grab Paolo or something and he could talk about the baby.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right.